Hello there, so if you recognize this map, you already know what's about to happen. The majority of this half-a-decade-old classic by Happy 30 is pretty decent. Slider shapes may be outdated and I disagree with a few rhythms, but compared to the average map at the time, this was something cool. However, what makes this map well known up through today isn't related to any of its good points. Happy 30's Ogoatis, pronunciation pending, is infamous for its ending. After 6 minutes of moderately high BPM stamina draining gameplay, we're left with this. It's a spinner, a common way to cap off songs with ambient or long-held sounds. Mapping-wise, it makes perfect sense, but to the average player, this is death. A 15-second long spinner which drains health even when spinning around 350 rotations per minute, followed by another 20-second spinner. This ending, along with something similar in one of his Demetori maps, earned Happy 30 a reputation as the guy who ends maps with game-breaking spinners. Most players who attempt Ogoatis fail at the end, just as I had. Unfortunate, but something isn't right though. This is Skystar's rendition of the same song, which ends with 2 long sliders matching the length of Happy 30's spinners. As you can see, health doesn't drain at all here, which you might naturally attribute to the difference in object types. Spinners at my average rotations per minute must drain health faster than sliders, right? That would make sense, but slightly modifying each of these maps shows otherwise. Here is Skystar's map, with the last 2 sliders replaced by spinners. When spinning around the same speed, my health doesn't drain nearly as fast. It's not draining at all actually. It's staying at max and only goes down when I ease up on rotations per minute. This is somehow easy, unlike the other map which only causes myself and others frustration. Similarly, here's Happy 30's map with the 2 spinners replaced by sliders. Health is going down, even with tick rate adjusted to be the same as Skystar's map. While spinners were hard to pass, these sliders are literally impossible. Okay, enough beating around the bush. It should be obvious why this is happening. You can see the title of this video after all. The HP drain difficulty setting on Happy 30's map is higher than HP drain on Skystar. They're the same. Oh. What's going on here then? Why are spinners on Happy 30's map so much harder than those same spinners on Skystar's map? Why does health drain faster on the first than the second? Or more generally speaking, how can the same difficulty setting produce different results? To answer that, we need to look into how HP drain works, and what about mapping affects it. Let's start with what you might already know. HP drain rate, or the speed at which a player's health goes down, is one of the 4 adjustable difficulty settings in Song Setup. It has a range of values between 0 and 10 to choose from, allowing mappers to control how much or how little players struggle. For example, look at this map. It's 30 seconds long and currently being performed by the autoplay mod, which runs through a map with pinpoint rhythm and aim accuracy. Each of these health bars is from a version of the map whose only difference is the HP drain setting, as labeled accordingly. By pausing here, we can clearly see how each value affects health. HP 10 at the top drains the fastest, reaching below the 70% marker at this exact point, while HP 0 is well above 90%. Every number in between shows a fairly even gradual change. So, the higher this number is set, the faster a player's health will deplete. No surprises so far, I hope, because now we get to delve into the confusing stuff. The HP drain setting does impact the speed at which a map, drains HP, but as Ogoatis has shown, it's not the only factor at play. Using this 30-second map, I tested out a few different ideas to show what could really be the cause of the discrepancy between Happy 30's and Skystar's versions of Ogoatis. You're a Nosu player, so you already know how HP generally works. Every component of gameplay impacts HP by its own respective amount. This is why a short repeating slider or a stream can lead to either massive gains in health or, if missed, massive losses. Are you aware of how new comboing affects HP though? By completing a combo, health boosts a slight amount more, like a bonus of sorts added onto an object's pre-existing HP boost. That's cool and all, but it's not what makes new combos weird. What's surprising is how comboing affects a map's overall HP drain. For example, this is a map I showed earlier using HP 10 and new combos on every major downbeat, balanced comboing like any ordinary map. This second bar, however, is the same map with only new combos in the first half, and no new combos in the second half. As unbalanced as possible, which despite not changing any rhythms, object placements, or difficulty settings, has a clear impact on HP drain. During its first half, drain is generous. Considering every object provides a bonus boost to HP, that's to be expected. The second half, though, is edging towards unplayable. Health no longer increases enough for stability. If the map were longer and HP drain stayed the same, autoplay would inevitably fail. This isn't because the second half lacks new combo bonuses though. One more new combo every 4 beats isn't enough to compensate for the health being gradually lost here. The second half is practically impossible to gain HP during because the map calculates drain with its average number of new combos in mind. Think of it like this. If a map has 100 objects and 25 new combos, its drain is calculated under the expectation that new combos are balanced, meaning there's a new combo and its bonus every 4th object. Then, if another map has 100 objects and 50 new combos, its drain is calculated under the expectation that there's a new combo and its bonus every 2nd object. Because there is more HP gained in that second map through new combo bonuses, its drain will be relatively more harsh to compensate. It's like the excess of new combo bonuses are cancelled out by the slight increase in severity for drain calculation, effectively making both maps drain at the same rate. Kind of. They even out. Unbalanced comboing, though, isn't accounted for by a map's drain calculations. If that 50 new combo map had all its new combos at the start, its second half would have far fewer new combo bonuses than its drain had planned for. This means even though there's fewer bonuses here than in that 25 new combo map, health still drains faster. The excessive comboing is balanced by a more severe HP drain, but uneven new combo usage causes this not to work as intended. So, to put it simply, more new combos in a map equals more intensive HP drain. I initially thought comboing was therefore the cause of problems in Happy 30's map. In a couple sections, Happy 30 uses a mapping concept involving variable slider velocity. One slider is fast, the next is slow, the next fast, and so on. This was signaled to players through different combo colors, brown meaning fast and white meaning slow. Of course, that meant the map had a lot of new combos, leading to a more severe HP drain. So, I redid the map's comboing manually, setting a new combo on every major downbeat like I'd find in average maps. I played through the map fully, reaching the spinner at the end, hoping drain would be less harsh with less excessive comboing, and I still failed. While there are situations where excessive or unbalanced comboing can negatively affect a map's HP drain, Happy 30's Ogoatus is not one of them. Looking at Skystar's version should have given that away too. His new combo usage is even more frequent than Happy 30's, yet his HP drain is still way more lenient. So something must be taking precedence over comboing to affect drain more strongly. One possibility that came to mind was length. I recalled when Monstrata ranked his Road to Resistance map and received complaints about the spinner at the end being unpassable with Hard Rock. These concerns came about because the top player had created a practice difficulty of just the ending portion of the map, which with Hard Rock was definitely not practical to pass. Soon enough, however, those who complained realized HP drain was less harsh when played on the actual map, not just the small ending portion of it. This led people to believe that HP drain was dependent on the length of a map. And so I tested it out. The top bar here is that map we've been looking at so far, lasting 30 seconds total. The bar below it is the same map, but copied and pasted to reach 4 minutes in length. And as we can see, well, the difference is minor. There is some change in HP drain, but not enough to affect the human playability of a spinner, and also completely irrelevant when comparing both versions of Ogoatus since they're the same length already. But maybe my test map is just not a good choice in this situation. What makes length relevant to drain on Road of Resistance is the variations of the song, and therefore the variations of the map, which my test material lacks due to being copied and pasted so much. In a real, full-length song, there's changes to everything, spacing, slider velocity, object arrangements, etc. Only one of these elements of mapping affects HP drain though, rhythm density. The bar at the top is that same 30-second no new combo version of the testing map. Below it is the same map for the first 20 or so seconds, while the last 10 seconds have extremely long rhythmic gaps between objects. The impact of this couldn't be any clearer. Because there's long periods of time where HP drains without regaining any health from playing objects, the map automatically made adjustments to counterbalance. Severity of HP drain was reduced so that the map would still be passable, which also applied to the first portion of the map. Even though these parts are the exact same in both of the maps being compared, the second has lower rhythm density in a later section, and therefore HP drain in the entire map is coordinated around that. So yeah, HP drain automatically accounts for the lowest common denominators when it comes to long gaps in rhythm, ensuring that a map is still passable. That being said, if length isn't what affected drain on Road of Resistance, it must have similar long gaps in rhythm somewhere earlier in the map. Like here. Funny how that works. Then what about Ogoatis? In Happy 30's map, this is a section with the lowest rhythm density. The song here is 20 seconds of mainly vocals, accompanied by ambient noise and a few occasional bell sounds. Happy 30 prioritizes the vocals with his rhythm choice, making every object land on a vocal syllable. This makes for 1 and 2 beat gaps in rhythm, which HP drain accounts for and ensures the player's health doesn't fall too low. How Skystar handles this section is what truly causes the difference in HP drain between these maps. Here, Skystar follows the bells, ignoring vocals altogether. This makes for repeated gaps in rhythm more than double the length of any found in Happy 30's rendition, which HP drain compensates for by reducing severity throughout the entire map. Just to show how big of a difference this makes, look at this version of Happy 30's Ogoatis, where vocal rhythms in this section have been replaced by Skystar's low-density circles. That's the only change, yet fast forward to the end and we can see the glory of what it does. Unlike before, the spinner is now painless to play. No health is lost because health draining in that one section affects drain rate for the whole map. HP drain is lower on Skystar's Ogoatis because of these gaps alone, not because of a difficulty setting or new combo usage, and transferring these 20 seconds over to Happy 30's map clearly shows that. So, why does knowing any of this matter? What I want to make clear is that HP drain is more than just this number. I see mappers saying stuff like HP 5 is too low for an insane difficulty, but they're not really thinking about what makes up HP drain rate. It relies on how a map is designed, so when choosing how much players struggle, think about more than just the difficulty setting here. If you've got a map with heavy new combo usage, maybe consider setting HP lower. Or if you've got a few huge gaps in rhythm, maybe set HP higher. And most importantly, keep in mind how health unfairly drains during long spinners and sliders to make sure you don't earn the same infamous reputation as Happy 30. Unless, you want that. I won't stop you. There is no best choice for HP drain, so as long as it's not absurdly strict or lenient for a map's level of difficulty, you're probably going to be fine. Anyway, thanks to these guys for supporting this video, and I'll see you next week.